who has two thumbs and is already wrapping Christmas presents in October? This girl. I am so sorry, you guys, but I have to pop on here really quick before the video begins. I've already edited this entire thing, and when I got to the end of this video, I had decided that I wasn't going to post it. It's been really bothering me, but if I don't like the quality of the video or if it makes me feel uncomfortable, then I'm obviously not going to share it. And so I decided I'm not going to share this video, and I've been going back and forth over it for the last like 4 or 5 days. It's been bothering me, and it's been bothering me because I'm not going to go ahead and unwrap any of those things, and I'm not going to do a what I got my kids for Christmas video this year. I don't think I'm going to share them anymore just because my kids are getting too old for that, and they'll go and look for that on my channel, but they will never watch a wrap and chat. They will never watch a Q&A. I can label something grocery haul and then show all their Christmas gifts, and the kids would never click on it, not for 1 second. So this was my way of being able to share with you guys of what I got the kids. In this video, I wrapped everything that I got for Mason and Maya so far, and I shared that with you guys. So this is a great way for me to link things or share my ideas. And I don't think I've ever done a Q&A on my channel before. Maybe like back in the day, I did like a couponer tag where like there were some base questions that I had to answer, but for the most part, I don't think I've ever shared where you guys asked and I answered. So this was killing two birds with one stone, and I thought the video came out good. My answers, like the fluency, I didn't go off on too many tangents or anything, but I was disappointed because I didn't really have my glasses on, so I couldn't see that well, and I didn't realize the angle of the camera. And it is just facing in a direction where like I have like 6 chins and my face is so fat, and I was just so uncomfortable by it. And the whole time I was editing, I'm like, these people are gonna stare at my fat face for an hour. Like, who would want to watch that? And it bothered me because one of the questions you guys asked was about Mel Robbins and like what got me into her, why I like her. So I talked for like 5 minutes in answering this question about how she's teaching me about self-love and how to love myself again, and how to be proud of myself and high-five myself and celebrate myself and all of that. And then I go and not want to post this video over my double chin. Like, it was almost against everything that I'm trying to do in the second phase of my life. And so I've been bothered by it, and it's been like this internal battle of anxiety for the last couple of days. And I woke up this morning and I said, you know what? I'm still gonna post this video. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And then I was getting ready to like hit the save button, and I was like, nope, I gotta go on and film something first. And I guess I need to say, like, I'm not looking for you guys to comment down below. In fact, please don't do that. This is not what this is about. I don't want you to feel that you have to, you know, comment down below and say you look fine or this and that. That's not what this is about. This is about coming on here and saying that sometimes you need to face your fears. Sometimes you need to go out on a limb even if you feel uncomfortable, because you have to learn to love yourself. And after saying everything I just said later on this video and then not wanting to post it, it's been, like I said, an internal battle for me. So use this as a lesson learned. Be kind, but at the same time, you guys, just learn to celebrate yourself, love yourself, and, you know, don't let the negativity that you hold against yourself stop you from doing things that you want to do. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and roll you into my wrap and chat / Q&A, and I hope you guys enjoy. What is up, you guys? My name is Kira if you are new, and today I am filming a wrap and chat, and it is October. Like, what in this world is going on? I am so proud of myself because I am never ahead of the game, but I am determined to do this for 2 reasons, not 4, 2. But my kids are starting to get a little bit older, and I don't want them to stumble upon what I got my kids for Christmas video. I might do stockings because stockings are, you know, a little underwhelming. Even though they can be fun, it's not the same thing as seeing what you got underneath the Christmas tree. And so I don't want to put like a what I got my kids for Christmas label on any of my videos, but my kids are never going to watch a Wrap and Chat ever. I don't even think that they would know what that is, but I don't think any one of them would be interested in sitting down to watch that. So if you guys are interested in any of the Christmas gifts that I'm picking up for my 3 kids, my 5-year-old, my 7-year-old, and my 17-year-old, I will be filming a couple of these Wrap and Chats, and I'll share with you what I got for the kids while I'm wrapping them. This way you guys can still kind of get some ideas. It's good and early, so you can get any of the stuff ordered for yourself. A lot of the stuff came from Amazon, so I can link it for you, and you can go ahead and grab it with plenty enough time, and I will keep it concealed from my kids. So that's number 1. And number 2 is I want to do something really fun with the kids this year. I think Vanessa's done this once before, and I've seen it on Pinterest, but I really want to do something where we write like a whole bunch of different really fun activities to do, like on some popsicle sticks or something, and then every single day we pull something out of the bucket and do like whatever activity it says to do. And it doesn't have to be anything complicated. Go take a walk and look at Christmas lights, watch a Christmas movie, bake some cookies, like make snowflakes out of paper. Like it does not have to be anything, you know, overwhelming, but I never give my kids that kind of time. Last year we were moving right at Christmas time, so it was hella crazy. And then the year before, like it was like a struggle with the pandemic, so we weren't going anywhere and we weren't doing anything. And then the year before that, like my kids were kind of, Maya was too young, like she doesn't even remember that. I want to be able to do really fun things with my kids and enjoy the season. When was the last time you enjoyed the season? I feel like we get so caught up in the shopping and the presents and all of that that we forget like the meaning of the season. We forget about, you know, I want to go to church on Christmas Eve. There's a wonderful Catholic church right around the corner from where we live. We pass it on the way to go to Mason's Karate, and I see it all of the time. And so I've been dying to like go and get my feet wet and like go to a mass so that we can get ourselves in the door, because I really want to go on Christmas Eve and take my kids. Like there are just some things I never have time to do, and this year I am determined to make it happen. 40 changed me, you guys. Life is too short. Life is crazy. I've had a couple of people that I knew from back in South Carolina that I've recently discovered in the past few weeks from Facebook have passed away because of COVID, and it's just, you just don't know. You literally will never know. These were healthy women that have passed away. And so I want to embrace every moment. This half of my life could theoretically be over, and so this half of my life I want to go into it with a different attitude. So that actually stems into one of the questions, because while I'm sitting here wrapping with you guys, I'm going to answer some questions. I asked you guys on Instagram, and then I asked you in a video. I don't think I put a poll out on my community tab, but I had some things I wanted to talk to you myself about also. So I kind of think I'm just going to go back and forth. I think I got like 12 or 15 questions, something like that. I have screenshots in my phone, so I'll be able to do that. Do I have my phone? Did I leave it? Or what did I do? Hey Siri. Oh, I got it. So I have my phone here to address the questions that you guys asked me, but I have a few to answer and then a few that I wanted to share with you guys myself. So let me go to my questions and I will pull them up. This way I can start wrapping. Let's talk into like the positive attitude, because that kind of stems into one of the questions. Okay, so somebody asked, how did you learn of Mel Robbins and what about her speaks to you? So one of the things that I've done recently is sign up for a program called Mom 875. I talked about it a little bit on my Instagram. If you guys are not following me on Instagram, head over to 50 Shades of Mom. But it is like very similar to the 75 Hard, which, you know, went viral, and it was, you know, a way for you to stay active and see results for 75 days, right? So that's why it's called 75 Hard, because you do, you know, something specific for 75 days and measure your results. And this is like something that a group of very high and people in the company, like they're very high up, these women, they are doing this program. We had to pay $10 to get in, and then we're taught training sessions every single day. So we have 75 days of training sessions, and then we have certain requirements that we have to do every single day to be able to say that we completed that day of the Monat 75. And so you have to high five yourself in the mirror every day, which is something that Mel Robbins does. You have to make your bed every day because that's something that Mel Robbins like says to do. And you know, there were a couple of other things that you had to do, but a couple of them were things that were in reference to Mel, and I didn't know who she was. And so I went and looked her up. I'm like, high-fiving myself, make my bed, like what's the deal? I had listened to something before, like a podcast a while ago, or no, not a podcast. It's something like on YouTube or whatever, of a live performance of somebody talking about why it is so important to make your bed every day. And for a while I was doing that solely because of that thing that I had read. And it's unbelievable, like the power of habit. And so Mel Robbins just recently released a book called The High Five Habit, and it instantly became a bestseller. She was the #1 audiobook for like the first week that it came out. She was the #2 book on Amazon. Like, they're now cultivating this book in 31 different languages. She's doing podcasts all over. It's pretty incredible. And she developed this method called the High Five Habit, of a way of like training your brain to give yourself back some well-needed high fives. Like, she said something that really stayed with me. I was talking with my girlfriend about it yesterday because she talked about being a baby. Now, hold on, I'll get back to that. This is something I picked up for Mason. I got it on Amazon. I'll link it, but it's called a pod swing. I got him the green one because green's his favorite color, but we're going to hang this in the corner of his room. It says it holds up to 176 pounds, so that's more than enough for him to sit in there, but I think it's going to be perfect for him to like read a book, play his iPad, his Switch, any of that kind of stuff. He'll be able to do like sitting in this little pod swing. So I got this for him as a great deal from that Amazon group, so I think he's going to enjoy that. So she talked about being a baby, and when you're a baby, you celebrate yourself. You see yourself in the mirror and you run up to yourself and you give yourself a high five in the mirror, and you give yourself a big wet sloppy kiss, and you giggle at yourself and you laugh at yourself and you enjoy looking at yourself in the mirror. And then she said, when you were learning to walk, you didn't fall and then say, ah, forget it, I'm not going to get back up. You got back up and you kept going until you learned how to walk. Same thing with crawling, any of those concepts. And so I was like, okay, I get where she's going with this. And so I kept listening, and she was like, do you do that for yourself now? Do you give yourself a big wet sloppy kiss and high five yourself when you see yourself in the mirror now? And I was thinking like, gosh, no. I mean, I hate looking at myself in the mirror at all. And like, I didn't, obviously she's not listening to me. She's just asking questions out loud and I'm answering them. And then it was almost like she was talking to me, because then she said, when did you learn to hate yourself so much that when you look in the mirror, you no longer celebrate yourself? And I was like, huh, why don't I do that? Why do I hate on myself? And it's because society says that I don't look good enough, or that I'm too overweight, or that my mouth is crooked, or all of these things. And so society says that I'm not acceptable. And so when I look at myself in the mirror, I see all those things. I see where I'm thinning, and I see where my hair is graying, and I see all of these things, but I don't see all the good in me. And she's just so eye-opening. She just explains why you should celebrate yourself. Like, she said, like, hey, are you the kind of person at the end of the day who is kicking themselves for not doing some of the things that you wanted to do. And I said, I'm thinking, oh yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm always hard on myself for not like completing the tasks. And then she said, okay, well, did you get the kids off to school? Did they have a lunch? Were they safe and clothed and matching out the door? Did they arrive safely? Well, guess what? Then you already did 4 amazing things before 8 o'clock in the morning. Celebrate yourself. And I was thinking to myself, well, you know, wow, like, we don't give each other props for the small victories. We just get mad at ourselves when we don't make all the big ones. And this really stems back to The Secret too, which is just very positive, uplifting way to look at life. And I've never been that person. I've always been the pessimist, the negative, the of course it always happens to me. And I don't want to be like that anymore. I think that is something that it really hinders me to be able to love myself and to appreciate what I have and all of my blessings, because I'm too busy feeling sad for myself that not everybody likes me, or I got too many thumbs down this video, or, you know, people unsubscribed. And it's like you feel so down on yourself, but you have to remember, like, hey, I didn't even think I was going to get 1,000 people to like my channel, and look how many friends I've accumulated over time and stuff. And so you just have to learn how to celebrate the small victories. So I am giving all of Mon875 the credit for finding Mel Robbins, but if I get nothing out of the $10 that I spent on that, I already got my money's worth. I've already bought her book, although she's reading it every single day live on Instagram, Facebook, like Twitter. She reads every single day live. Last that we left off with her, I think she was on page 52, or at least that's the last time that I've listened to her on Instagram. But she's planning on reading the entire book in case you can't afford to buy one. But she said, like, hey, if you're really getting something from this book and you're taking the takeaway from it for free, go ahead and buy that book for somebody else then. And I thought, wow, that's a great idea. And so I went and actually bought the book for someone who I really think would benefit from feeling good about herself. I don't think she feels good about herself at all. And so I bought this book as a Christmas present, and I'm hoping that if she reads it, it'll like reinstate how special she is and to not feel so down on herself. So I did already purchase the book for someone else. Either way, she is ridiculously inspiring. And if you have not discovered Mel Robbins, I would definitely go ahead and check her out. Now, before I get into another question, I want to address something really quickly. So this is something I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to talk about this, and I think that because we're talking about like positive attitude and stuff right now, it's a great time for me to put this in. Oh my gosh, I didn't even share this with you guys. I can't even, yes, I can pop a picture of this up because I got it on Amazon. I'll pop a picture up, but this is like a form of laser tag, but it's with water. So you put on like vests like you would for laser tag, and then it comes with 2 water guns, and when you shoot the water guns at each other where you hit it, it registers points. So I thought that was really fun to give that to Mason, because my kids really love anything to go outside and, you know, water related. It's hot here in Texas, so I know my kids are really going to like that, but that was really for Mason. Mason's definitely light. He's the one person that I need a little bit more for. The other kids just need like one big item. Like, we're gonna get the kids bikes. They need new bikes, so the little kids are gonna get that, and then Jake is gonna get a small laptop so that he can play a specific kind of game that he wants to play. But there's one that's super cheap, like $175 on Black Friday, so I'm just gonna get him that. That's his big gift, and then I've already got him his little fill-in items. So besides that big gift, he's already done. So Mason's the one person that I need to kind of work a little bit on. But anyway, back to the comments. So if you are new to my channel and you comment on it and you're not aware As of January 1st, I hold all of my comments for review. And if I don't think that I want the comment to be posted, I don't post it. And sometimes it's not even mean. It's just something that's so opinionated that I'm afraid people are going to attack in the comments. Like, I let one go the other day just because I actually got some humor out of the person who came to my defense. But somebody wrote on my lunch videos like, oh, you give your kids too much food. And this woman went off. And she was like, she tells you, she gives them variety. Like, who are you to count her kids' calories? Blah, blah, blah. Like, she says they don't even eat it all. Like, she literally went off. And I thought that was great. And I left it. But that's kind of the stuff that I'm trying to avoid. Not just because I don't want the negative comments, like because they're casted hate or negativity towards me. It's because there are so many wonderful, loyal people like you guys that come to my defense. And then it becomes a nasty environment in the comments. And that's just not what I want. Like, for example, this is a video where I deleted a lot of comments, and they weren't all necessarily nasty. Some were, but not all of them were. But I just didn't like the insinuation that some people were going with that, and so I just deleted like 90% of the comments that had anything to do with that. But I put out a video of my kids like redoing their room for them, and one of the things that was like a big hot topic was, why don't the kids have bunk beds? Like, only one person was really, really, truly nasty, but they were all, why hasn't somebody called CPS on you for allowing your children to sleep in the same bed? They're 5 and 7. Like, that actually makes me vomit in my mouth that someone would automatically think something inappropriate or perverted about my 5 and 7-year-olds. It's not like it's 14 and 16 sleeping in a bed together. Okay, I would send CPS on myself if that were the case. But they're 5 and 7 and they like to sleep together. If I got a bunk bed, they would still end up sleeping in the same bed. I can guarantee you that. They like that. They look for one another. If one of them doesn't want to sleep in that bed and they decide to go sleep on the couch, or they sleep on the floor, the other one will come in here because they don't want to be alone. So that was like my #1 reason for not wanting to buy a bunk bed, because I feel like it's going to be a waste. Side note, something else I bought Mason. This is a shelf that goes around the outlet so that you can like plug in your tablet or something and then it'll sit on the shelf, which I thought was pretty cool because my kids always have their tablets like plugged in at my island, and whenever I'm filming like my lunch videos and stuff, their tablets are always behind there. I tried to get them to have them in their room when I redid their room, but they weren't feeling that because they don't really spend a lot of time in their room. They are usually downstairs or they play in the game room. They are only really in their room for sleeping. So they were kind of annoyed that it was out of their way, and it ended up being back downstairs with them charging. So I got this cool little thing. I thought I could put it downstairs in a specific spot and have the kids be able to charge their tablets and then leave them on this little shelf so they're out of the way. It's more for Mason because I think he'll be the one to care more than Maya, but I think they'll still end up both benefiting from it. But anyways, that was like my #1 reason for not doing a bunk bed. The #2 reason is that my children are beasts and I don't trust them not to break something. I've been pretty lucky that only Jacob, let me knock on some wood. Only Jacob has broken a bone so far, and he just had a hairline fracture in his collarbone. When Daryl and I were living in the first apartment that we were living in when we moved out of my mom's, Jake rolled out of bed and he had like a little wooden like step stool next to his bed, and he fell on the little wooden step stool and he got like a hairline fracture in his collarbone. That's the only time any one of my kids have broken a bone. I'd like to keep it that way. When we went to Vanessa's for Madison's little shower thing, obviously the kids were with me, and the kids were like, oh my gosh, they were literally shaking the dining room light because they were jumping and stuff. And I kept like going to get up and say something, and Vanessa's like, oh, they're just playing gymnastics and stuff. Like, it's okay, let them be kids. She's just so gentle like that. And I'm like, these kids are crazy. And she's like, it's okay, let them be kids. I was like, all right, all right. But at one point I had had enough, because I mean, I was afraid they were gonna come through the ceiling. And so I went up there, and it wasn't her kids doing gymnastics. It was my kids jumping off of Pearl's bed. And like, when I said that to Vanessa, she was like, oh, my kids know they're not allowed to jump off of Pearl's bed. I'm like, it wasn't your kids, it was mine. Now maybe it was because it was a novelty, and if it was theirs, maybe they wouldn't do it as often, but I don't trust them. I think one of them would push the other one off in an argument off the top or something. I don't know. I don't really trust that whole situation. And the third reason, which is a huge reason as well, when the kids were younger, we purchased, like when they were babies, we spent stupid amounts of money at Babies R Us, which is not around anymore, but we bought stupid amounts of, spent stupid amounts of money buying the kids the cribs that convert into full-size beds. And we bought these expensive beds because they were the beds that the kids would be able to take with them in the latter part of their life. And they are like fairly expensive full-size beds. Like the beds themselves were $700. The conversion kits to turn them into full-size beds were another $200. And they're full-size beds where they have full-size mattresses. So all of those things we have already invested in. We just have Maya's out right now, obviously, because they're sharing, but all of Mason's stuff is in storage. So I am not going to spend money, I don't care how much it is, buying mattresses and bunk beds and whatever, for my kids to use it for who even knows how long. Jake graduates on January 10th. Like, he has permission, he's already been granted the permission to graduate early. I don't know what Jake is going to do. That's actually another question. What does Jake want to do when he finishes school? And Jake doesn't know. I do feel like a lot of kids at this point don't really know what they necessarily want to do, but Jake has changed his mind so many times, and at the end of the day, Jake is just very immature. I've spoke about this a lot of times. People ask, like, but I know I get new people every day, so not everybody understands or knows, but people have asked, like, hey, why doesn't Jake make his own lunch? Well, because it's my job, and I make them, and I'm making lunches anyways, and I film lunch videos because it's my job, so that's why I do it. He would help if I asked him to, but I don't need him to. But people say, like, is he embarrassed by like the kiddie stuff that you send him or whatever? And the answer is always no. Matter of fact, last Saturday, Jake was like, hey, are you gonna make any more of those Halloween lunches? Because I really want you to make it. And I'm like, Jake, it's Saturday. And he's like, I know, but I love when you make the Halloween lunches. Like, that's coming from my 17-year-old. He's very simple-minded. He's very immature. He has the mental capacity of a 13-year-old right now. Will he mature at some point? Yes, for God's sakes, I hope so. But for right now, mentally, Jake is a 13, 14-year-old. That's why I haven't let him get a permit or anything to drive. But there are certain things that Jake, like, nobody really understands until you understand him. And I don't know if because of Jake's immaturity, if he's ready for college. I really just don't know. Like, he wanted to go to college, and he wanted to go to where my parents live because he misses New York so much. He misses my family so much. He wants to go back there. But he wants to go to Stony Brook. So if you guys are from Long Island, or you know, Stony Brook is a 4-year university. It is not a cheap school to go to, and I admire Jacob for wanting to go there. He really wants to go there because Stony Brook is about 15 minutes from my mom's, 20 minutes if you hit some traffic on 347 or something, but otherwise it does not take long to get there. So he thought that would be the best scenario for him to be able to still visit at my mom's and still be able to go to college. But it's not a cheap university, and I don't feel comfortable with Jake going to a university like that if he's not ready to know if he wants to complete college. Like, I'd rather him go to a community college and mature a little bit over the next 2 years and then make a decision what he wants to do. But he has changed his mind so many stinking times that I don't really think he knows. And I don't know if college is going to be for him. Some people it's just not for. He might be better suited in a trade school or something and learning a trade. I really don't know what is going to happen. We've talked about it. I try not to stress him out. Like, we talked about it. He just took his SATs and he was so stressed over his SATs. He thinks he did awful. He was very confident going in and then called me and said, like, I'm no longer confident. I think I did an awful job. I didn't show you guys this either. Oh my goodness. All right, this isn't really a big to do anyways. This was just a Pikachu stuffed animal that Jake got. Where did Jake get this from? Oh, he brought this home from New York. This is when we went to the convention, the Comic-Con like convention, the Long Island Comic-Con thing. He saw this special Pikachu. So he got Mason a stuffed animal and I just wrapped it for him. So I will give him that. But yeah, so I don't really know if he knows what he wants, and I just want him to be smart. I don't want him to be swimming in debt. I feel like a lot of people swim in debt from school and they bury themselves, and then from that time forward, like, how many people actually use what they got a degree for in school? Like, my mom has a 4-year degree in psychology and sociology. She never did squat with it. My cousin Eric, like, went to school to be a teacher. He works at the car dealership. You know, I have a cousin who's a paralegal, also no longer does her job. Like, so many people I know have gotten a college degree and then got into a good paying job and then never went to their career. So I just don't know if I really want Jacob to invest all of that money and then end up dropping out of school or it not being what he wanted or whatever. So I don't really know what he wants to do, but I will continue to keep supporting him until he figures it out. He will have to get a job. He's not allowed to graduate on January 10th and not have a job. I told him we are going to New York right after that for Christmas. Like within 2 days after him going, graduating, we're going. And then I told him that when he gets back from my mom's, he can take the rest of January off. And by February 1st, he has to be working full time. And he can work through the winter and through the summer. And then by the fall, he can figure out what he wants to do with a school. So that's where we're pretty much at with that. But I think at the end of the day, we got well off the tangent, but I just want to circle back really quick and just tell you guys that if you leave a comment and you don't see it pop up, be patient. I don't always get a chance to like check the comments or whatever, and just be kind. Like, we got off the topic, but we were on the, you know, topic of the bunk beds. Some people, like I said, not everybody was nasty, but some were really nasty. Like, what kind of mom are you? Like, if you watch me, you know what kind of mom I am. I bust my ass for my children. I give them everything. And so I would never do anything to harm them or that I didn't think was safe for them or the best decision for them. And we've discussed it. Vanessa was going to give me her bunk beds when she got rid of the ones that she had in the tiny home. She offered them to me for nothing. Do you want our bunk beds? And I said, no, my kids are going to harm themselves. They're going to jump on them and end up through the ceiling. Like, I'm not doing it. And I've stuck to my guns. So just when you're leaving messages in the comments, try yourself to be kind. Just know that if I feel like the energy is not where I want it to be, then I'm not going to post the comment. Sometimes people are so ridiculous. I just got one that said, "You're so scary." I don't even know what that means. My voice is scary. I'm scary looking. I don't even know. What does that even mean? I can't tell you. But sometimes I get the most outlandish things, and you know, most of the time they're really, really good. I have no problem with constructive criticism, but I also have a problem with people attacking me. Like, one woman said to me, "I know you have me in comment jail because none of my comments ever pop up." No, that's not true. nobody's comment pops up. I reserve them all and then I read them. But like, it was absolutely one comment after another. Like, she said, oh, hey, did you know that like you're using Lysol? It's the worst product ever. And I was like, I mean, I don't know. I always thought Lysol was good. It was sanitizing, you know? And then she said, but then again, you got the vaccine, so you don't mind putting Lysol in your veins. I'm not going to debate the vaccine on my channel. Whether I did or didn't get it, whether I believe in its success or not, that's only for my family to decide, and I'm not going to hate on you for whatever your decision is. Go crazy. Get the vaccine. Don't. Some of my best friends, love them to death, don't want the vaccine. My mother-in-law doesn't want the vaccine. I'm not going to argue with her. That's her choice. That's her decision. She feels powerful about her reasons. I'm not going to slight her for that, for any reason. That's on her. How we feel is how we feel. But to say like, oh, you'll put Lysol in your veins because you got the vaccine, like, I'm not going to do political debates. I'm not going to do vaccine debates. I'm not going to do religious debates. This is not the platform for that. So I censor my comments, so be patient if you leave a comment, and know that if I don't like it, it's my channel. It's not going up. All right. Something I got my Amazon. I shared this like in my Amazon video already when I did like things that I got while I was away on vacation, but it is a unicorn hooded robe with the fur thing. Super, super cute. I think I paid like $6 for it, so I think Maya is going to love it. I really need to get Mason a robe. I need to put that on my list. Okay, so another question that I got was, did I have any like fantastic plans for my 40th birthday? The answer was no, at least not right now. We were supposed to go to Topgolf that day, but it was half price and it was too busy, so we didn't get a chance to go. We went on Thursday, which was my anniversary, but it was still super fun, and my husband loves to golf, and so he had a wonderful time, and that's all that mattered. We got to see our friends, and the kids got to see their friends, and so that was a fun time. But no, I didn't end up doing anything on my birthday. I actually didn't even have dinner because I didn't know what we were going to do. My husband ended up buying chicken wings for me, and I fell asleep on the couch and didn't eat them until the next day because it was just like, I don't know, I'm 40 now, it's another day. But my husband and I did say that we are going to like spend a little bit of extra quality time and consider it like a birthday celebration when we go to Madison's wedding. I'm excited about that because my husband and I don't normally go away. So to say like it's a 40th birthday celebration for me, and then to be able to go to Madison's wedding, it's like killing two birds with one stone. So I think that that is awesome. So we are going to spend some time in Atlanta. I got this from Maya. It's a little purse that like looks like a donut. See, looks like a donut. And then when you open it, it has a ridiculously large amount of fidget toys. My kids are all about the fidget toys, and so it has like these little like crinkle things with balls in it. There's a Pop-It, but it's a watch kind of thing. There's like a little mini fidget guy. There's these two fidget sticks. I'm sure she'll share with her brothers because this one's like a fidget snake. It has a giant Pop-It in there that looks like ice cream, and Maya is just going to like it, and it's just something fun. I think I paid like $6 for this on that Amazon group, so I know that those are going to be the kind of like fun little things that the kids don't ask for, but they're going to be nice surprises and they're really going to enjoy. The kids haven't made their Christmas list yet, so I do need to get them whatever they ask the big man for. So once they make their Christmas list, I still will have that to buy for them, but at least minus the bike and a few things left for Mason, the kids are pretty much done, you know, for the most part. So I'm excited about that. Like I said, I'm never done this early, so that's a really exciting. You guys, I think I'm gonna have to cave and go to the doctor for this toe. I didn't want to, but I think I'm gonna have to because I'm really uncomfortable. Even just sitting here right now because there's still like blood rushing to the area, it's throbbing. And I took a Tylenol 3. We had one left over from when I went to the emergency room, and I've been holding it forever. And I actually gave it to Daryl when he was going through all of his tooth pain, and I guess he never took all of the ones that I gave him, because I had a few left over, and I gave him the bottle, and he didn't take all of them. So he actually just went out to his car, and he was like, hey, look what I got for you. And I mean, I felt like it was Christmas, literally, because I figured that would really help with the pain. It didn't. So I don't even know really what they would give me for pain. A bunch of you said like, oh, you should still go to the doctor. Maybe they'll give you an anti-inflammatory, or, you know, maybe something for pain. I don't even know what for pain would help, but I do believe that it needs to be stabilized. And it's definitely not doing that by any means. I'm up on it. I'm walking on it. Today I did a bunch of like grocery shopping and errands, and I mean, they weren't important errands. They could have waited. They were things I wanted to accomplish. And every mom thinks they're super mom and they could just keep going about their day and doing things. But I gotta be honest with you, I should have just quit while I was ahead, because I'm definitely suffering. I got this for Maya from her dance studio. She needed a new like leotard. I told everybody to get her dance gear because she likes to change up her outfits, and she goes through tights like crazy. And this I think is going to be a tiny bit big on her, not too much, but enough that she'll grow into it. So I'm excited. I got her a bunch of dance stuff. I just ordered her some extra tights. And I got her another set of ballet slippers and stuff like that, just because she's enjoying dance so much. Like, I don't see this being something that she stops doing for a while. So I definitely want to keep investing in stuff for her. All right, so I'm going to answer another question, and it's funny because it's one of my friends from back home. I don't get a chance to see her that often. We don't talk that often, but it's my friend Amelia. I don't even think she watches my videos, so she'll never even see the answer to it. But she did respond to my questions on Instagram, and she asked if I would ever move back to New York. And Daryl and I have made a decision that we are going to move back to New York. That we were going to make wherever we went from here be our forever home. But I think we're going to have to make another pit stop back into New York. I'm not going back to Long Island. That's not happening. You couldn't pay me. And I wouldn't go as far as my in-laws are. I mean, when I go up there, I enjoy it so much and it gives me all the feels. But in the wintertime when we go up there, like, my car freezes and stuff. Like, I can't use windshield wiper fluid, even with the one that's like anti-freeze. It doesn't matter. Like, I remember the one year I left baby wipes in the car and they were hard as a rock. Like, I don't live that life. I don't want to live that life. And I don't want to go so far away from my parents. So I think Daryl and I are going to go somewhere in between, and we're just going to stay there while we make sure that our parents are well taken care of in their older age. Like, especially after going this past summer, we really got a chance to see, like, our parents are not getting any younger, and we don't want to miss out on being there to help them. But it's not exactly what I wanted to do after here, because again, I'm not a huge fan of New York, so I really don't want to go back. But I want to be able to be there for our families. And his dad, I think, is the oldest out of all of our parents, but then it's my mom, and then his mom, and then my dad. I think my dad's the youngest out of all of the parents, but it doesn't matter. Like, they're all within the same 5 years of each other, so in the grand scheme of things. And my mom's already had a stroke and stuff, and my father-in-law legitimately has like some kind of hospital scare. Like, every other month he's going in there doing something else. So we were driving home from his mom's house this summer, and I was like, you know that we have to move back at some point, right? And he was like, yeah, I know. I agree with you. So I felt a little bit better. He hated New York. He didn't want to be there, but he agrees with me now that it's something that we need to do. And then when our parents have kind of moved on, then we'll move on to our forever home. Something else I got super cheap on that Amazon group. I got this little JoJo Siwa nightgown. I think this whole set was like $8. It was this nightgown and then the slippers, the little JoJo Siwa slippers. Slippers aren't the greatest quality, but this whole set was $6. So Maya will be fine with that. She'll have a robe, a couple of new pairs of pajamas, some slippers. Like, that's all the good stuff that you get on Christmas that you know that you need, but you don't buy for the rest of the year, right? So yeah, so to bring it all back around, we will eventually end up back in New York to help out our family, and then we will go our separate ways after that. I still don't know where I want to go, like when we're after that, but we shall see. We shall see where life ends up taking us. But I want a place with all 4 seasons. I still like snow, but only like some of it, and once in a while, not a bucket full. And I don't like to be super hot, and I've ended up in South Carolina and Texas. So really, really not the wisest decisions for someone who doesn't like heat, but I still don't regret my decisions. But needless to say, we're not going anywhere hot next time. So I think I'm gonna have to pop up a picture of this because I don't think I can really show you, but this was something that was supposed to be like, I don't even know, 40 bucks or whatever, and I got it for $15. But it's like a big giant, I don't know, it's like a unicorn pillow that unfolds to like a giant sleeping bag. I thought Maya would really like that because she likes to like sleep on the floor and camp out and stuff. And this is one of the ones that like it's taped together, but if you undo it, it's going to like pop up because it's really squished in here. But I'll pop up the picture because I got that on Amazon also. But I thought that was super cool and something that she would really enjoy. Let me cut this piece of paper, and then I will check another question from my Q&A. I don't know how I've been talking so long, and I feel like I've barely answered any questions, but that's because I don't shut the L up. So there's that. And I'm knocking stuff over, so there's also that. Okay, hopefully I can squeeze this in this piece of paper, just in case you guys don't realize I don't measure. So that doesn't always work out to my benefit. Okay, one of my girlfriends said I can answer all the questions for you. I'll do your Q&A. That was really funny. Okay, how is your mom since her kidney stone? Let's kind of talk about that really quickly because we were just talking about my parents. My mom is doing a lot better since her kidney stone. Like once the stent came out, she passed the stone and all of that. She obviously feels like a ton better, but I mean, my mom still suffers every day with other things, but for her actual like kidney stone, she feels a lot better. And you guys are always asking about her, which I think is amazing, and I appreciate it so much, and she appreciates it so much. But yeah, she's doing a lot better. Like that's no longer an issue. It's just sad because within a couple of weeks of us leaving, she was kind of back to her normal self. So I feel like we took that whole vacation to be with her, and we hadn't seen her in so long. And I know that she just enjoyed us being there at all, but I'm still really sad because I feel like there was a huge part of my mom that had just been literally counting down the days until we got there, and then I don't know, and then she just didn't get to do anything but cry and be sick and sad, and that was sad. So we definitely owe her another trip, and like going home for Christmas is never nearly as long. Like I don't even think we're gonna go for a full week because I don't think Daryl will be able to take that off. I mean, he just started this job in June, so I just don't know how much vacation time he's going to be able to get. I mean, he makes his own schedule, so he's been able to make himself like available for a Labor Day weekend, for Madison's wedding. He was off for my birthday and our anniversary, but I mean, I don't know if he's going to be able to get off like tremendous amounts of time. Well, he'll get off some of it, but I mean, I don't want to fly in and out without him, especially with all the presents, all of that. I'm not doing that without him, not a chance. So, and I won't even do that like where we come in for some of the time and whatever. That's not going to happen. And the kids are already going to be back from Christmas break and we're going to be going. So they're going to miss school after we just missed 2 weeks of school. So I don't want to be like it to be too much for them also. So I don't even know how long we're going to go, but at least we'll be able to see our family for Christmas. All right, I've shared this in a video before. I got this for Maya from H-E-B. It's like a little H-E-B basket with a whole bunch of food. If I still have my lady who asked me to pick up one of these for her kid, if you are watching this video and you're here right now and you're still watching, please send me an email because I've picked you up one for your daughter, but I don't know where to send it because you didn't give me your address or anything. And even if you did, like maybe you did, I don't think you did, but even if you did, I've lost your message amongst everybody who started wishing me happy birthday. Like if I have not said thank you for you guys wishing me a happy birthday, I am so sorry. Blame it on Vanessa because she just went and sent everybody to spam me and wish me a happy birthday, which was the sweetest thing ever. And I was filled with so much love. But you guys, I will never be able to say thank you to all of you who commented and wished me happy birthday. And now I have like a million messages in my Instagram that I will never be able to get to. So I have lost your message. So please email me and I will go ahead and get that out for your daughter because I know you really, really wanted one, and I will make sure to get it out to you. So if you get this message and you're reading this or you're hearing this, reading it, I don't even know what I'm talking about, you guys. It's not even the Tylenol 3, I swear, it's not working. It's just, it's like the can't remember anything syndrome that I got for being 40. I don't know. I was like starting to have it before, but like now I really got it. I'm a hot mess. I'm always tongue-tied, but you guys are still here and you love me, right? And I love you. All right, so I have the last few things that I have for Maya. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap those up, and then this has been really, really good. I think while I'm editing this, I'm going to make a list of everything that I have for each one of the kids, because now I can't go back and look at it because it's wrapped. So I think I'm gonna make a note while I'm editing this. This way, I know everything I have for them. I won't duplicate. And now, like I said, the only thing that's missing is their big present, which is for her, is her bicycle. And then she needs the presents from Santa. And then otherwise, she's definitely good. Mason is no bueno. Like I barely have anything for him here. So I've been making some mental notes as I go along of some things that I need to pick up for him. Jacob also is done. Now I'm going to have to do a part 2 of this Q&A, so you guys are gonna have to ask a little bit more questions or something, or I'll come up with some frequently asked questions and try and address those. But I have one more that I'm going to address with you guys, and that should take up this time to wrap these last few things. So somebody asked, how did Paul and I become friends, and how did we end up becoming so close? So I've given like a brief rundown of this, and I'll link that video in case I say like I missed something this time. But for the most part, we met at work. We worked in the same place, and Paul doesn't have any family, like none, zero, zilch. He has one brother who's not the kindest of people. Like I'm not a huge fan of him. I got Maya another pair of pajamas. It was actually a 2-pack, and her and Rose are the same size, so I broke it apart and I put one set aside for Rose, and then here are the short bottoms to it, and then I gave one to Maya just because I know my other family members are going to get her pajamas. Somebody always does. And then I also got her those JoJo ones, so she just doesn't need a ton of pajamas, so I split the 2-pack with Rose. I know Rose loves unicorns too, so that was going to work out perfect. So when we met, we, you know, talked periodically. Our offices were side by side, so, and there was nobody else really in our office. Like sometimes the auditors would come in, but they really would come in the morning to get their assignment and then come in at night to hand in their folders and the car keys for their vans and stuff. They would not be there all day. So Paul and I were pretty much in the office like all day by ourselves and stuff. And it was actually Paul, ironically, it was his 40th birthday, and because he didn't have any family really or anything, like nobody was really doing anything with him. So the other office manager, Diane, and I, we got together and we got Paul a cake and some scratch offs and like a couple of little presents and stuff like that, and like left it in his office for him. And that made such a large impact on Paul. I guess just the idea of somebody who didn't really know him, like doing something nice for him. He was so like overwhelmed by that, and he like was so thankful, and I'm just so appreciative of people who are appreciative. A lot of people in this world take kindness for granted, and he did not. He was so sweet, and it just made it really easy to become friends with him. And so he started like coming over and hanging out. I think Daryl was a little weirded out at first because there was like this strange dude that was coming and hanging out all the time, but he like fell in love with Jake. He was immediately Uncle Paul, like immediately. I got these little slides for Maya. Actually, I have a pair that is almost the same color. It's a little bit more melony, but again, on that Amazon Facebook group, they also posted like other deals, and all slides at Adidas were 2 for $40. Adult, kids, whatever. I think 20 bucks for Adidas slides is still really, really good. So I got Maya a pair, and then I got myself like a matching pair, and I had Daryl give it to me for my birthday. It's funny, I've been sharing on Instagram like some of the things that Daryl got me, or you know, everybody has gotten for my birthday, and some of the things that I haven't shown yet are all of the sandals, flip-flops, and like slippers that I got, because Bruno keeps eating all of mine. He ate like 3 pairs already. So Mason got me a pair, Maya got me a pair, and then Daryl got me the slides, because like seriously, every time that I leave my shoes somewhere, Bruno eats them. Like I said, Paul used to come over. He was like immediately Uncle Paul, and because he didn't really have a family, he like took to mine, and I don't know, I really felt for him, because he's a very kind and respectful man. He's ex-military, so he really just has all of that like yes ma'am, no sir attitude, and he was just very respectful and kind to my parents, and I just appreciated that. And so like he came to a couple of like family things like Thanksgivings and stuff, because again, he had no family. It was just, my family really welcomed him, and he was so appreciative that my family welcomed him, and I thought that was really cool that we were able to give him a family. He lived in Jersey for a long time, and then when his mom like officially passed away, she was already had dementia, and she wasn't there like the whole time that I knew him. But then when she officially passed away, he was just heartbroken, and that was the last of anybody he had left, even though she didn't even know who he was at the end. So he didn't know where to go or what to do with himself, and we had space in Carolina, so we were like, hey, come on down and move with us, start a new life, like whatever. And so he came and he lived with us for a while, and then he ended up buying his own home. He rented an apartment for a year, and then he bought his own home for a year. And then when we told him we were moving to Texas, he was like, well, you know that I'm not staying here, right? And I was like, well, I mean, you can come if you want, but I mean, you've been here now at this point for, you know, 6 years. I figured you'd want to stay. And he said, I'm only here because you guys are the only family that I have. And so if you guys are gone, so am I. So he stayed behind. He had to handle some stuff with his house. And then once he was all done taking care of everything, we had a friend, Ronnie, who ended up renting Paul's house from him until Paul could sell the house and all of that. And so Ronnie stayed there. I actually think that Ronnie ended up still renting from the people who bought the house. I'm not really sure. I haven't really kept up with them, but there was, you know, our friend was living there, and then I don't know if he still stayed. But needless to say, Paul stayed behind for a little bit, and then he came in like May, because it was right before Mother's Day that he came, and he's been here ever since. And some people have said like, hey, how long is Paul gonna like live with you guys? Honestly, I don't know. It's kind of hard for a single person to live by themselves in society these days, especially if you don't make a crap ton of money or you don't have a career, because even the cheapest of apartments, like even the cheapest of apartments is still 2 paychecks. And then, you know, you're living everything else by the seat of your pants. And so we just work as a really good functional family. Like, he helps out so tremendously. He knows all of the kids' routines, and he knows all of the kids' routines because he was home for a good chunk of the pandemic. Like, Daryl's pretty much always worked, but Paul was here for a while, so he really picked up on our routine, and he was able to really just help, and without being asked, because he already knew like what was going on. And so I honestly would be lost without him. There's a lot of stuff that like he's capable of doing that Daryl can't, and then there's stuff that Daryl's capable of doing that Paul can't, which is why I feel like we work very well as a functional family, because there's usually not an aspect of something that somebody doesn't touch. We don't really touch electrical, and we don't really touch plumbing, but other than that, oh my god, speaking of plumbing, all right, hold on. So I got Maya another Poppet. I know I told you guys these kids love the freaking Poppets, but it's a mini purse. But I thought she can hold all of her like Poppets in here. I know I showed you the other thing that was like a purse. I don't know if Maya's gonna want to use it like a purse, but it was only, like I said, $5 or $6 to get all of those fidget toys. So it really wasn't about the purse as much as it was like all the fidgety toys that I know my kids are really going to like. So I said, speaking of plumbing, so if you guys watched, it was like 6 months ago when my faucet broke, and I had to spend a ridiculous amount of money. Like, the kind of faucet that I have at my kitchen sink is an $800 faucet. And I had to replace it through Moen and all of that. I had to have somebody come and install it. Well, the person who came and installed it, he installed it wrong. So it's been slowly causing a leak that eventually backed up to this giant situation. So this thing has been leaking for a while. It's corroded like all underneath my kitchen sink. It now fried out the little brain. So now the same thing that was happening to the faucet 6 months ago is happening to it now again, because the brain is all screwed up and messed up. And Moen is so behind that they're only talking to people by appointment only. I called on Friday, and the soonest I can get an appointment was for Tuesday at 11:30 in the morning. And it was take the appointment or don't talk to us. Those were your only options. So obviously I took the appointment, but I'm hoping that it's under warranty and that we can get like a new brain for the sink. Otherwise, I'm not buying another crazy, ridiculous, expensive faucet. So I don't really know what's gonna go on with that. But right now I have no water at my kitchen sink again. No water. And even if I talk to them and they're going to send me a new brain, like unless they're willing to overnight it, I don't know how long it's going to be for me to have no water at my kitchen sink. So doing dishes and stuff has really been fun. I've been channeling my Vanessa because she knows how annoying that it is to not have water in your kitchen sink and to have to wash things in your bathroom or whatever. It's absolutely ridiculous and I'm over that, but such is the life of being a homeowner. Man, I forgot to show you again. I'm really bad at this whole rap and chat thing because I'm just rapping and chatting and not sharing. I just got her another pair of ballet flats to wear for ballet. I think that was the last thing that I have for my, I mean, I have a ton of other stuff, but it's all their stocking stuffer stuff, and that you guys will see in their stockings stuffer video, because I am going to do a stocking stuffer video. So yeah, so now I don't have a kitchen sink right now. I'm waiting to deal with all of that. Plus I had to pay a plumber to come, and I paid him $150 to come and fix what the guy that I paid $85 to do messed up. So it's all that good stuff. All of it. It's always something. Being a homeowner is like, it's literally always something. But I'm still blessed to be a homeowner. I'm glad that we were able to own a home, especially if you guys have been with me since we got here to Texas. We went from being scammed to staying with a friend to a rental property to being able to own. So we certainly have moved up in the world, but you know, that is that. But all right, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and go, and I will have to make a part 2 of this wrap and chat because I didn't even wrap Jake's, and I still have like a ton of other stuff, and I want to be able to give you guys ideas as we're going along. So I will be back to wrap with you and chat with you on another time, and make sure you guys put your comments or your questions down below if you have anything new that you want to ask. Maybe this video like sparked another question that you have to ask me, so go ahead and place it down below, and I will definitely film a part 2, and I will go ahead and get all of that stuff done. But I love you guys so much. Subscribe if you are new. I doubt anybody new has made it all the way to the end, because if you did, then you are crazy. If you did, comment down below, because I really want to know, because I highly doubt that that has happened if anybody has made it that far, this far. Anyways, I'm gonna go. I love you guys so much. I think I need a nap. My toe is killing me, and I still have to go clean up all this stuff and put it away before the kids walk in and see it all. But all right, you guys, I love you to pieces, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.